I don't know why the video cut out then. I'm going to try again, and I'm going to try to stitch the two together if I can. Yeah, why are we listening to Bill Gates about health? He doesn't know anything about health. He's not a doctor. Why are Zuckerman and the other social media barons censoring frontline doctors who do know what they're talking about, and not Bill Gates, who's talking through his arse? He's a computer scientist, not a doctor. Not even sure he's a computer scientist, really. He's a businessman. He was doing an IT course at university, but he bailed out, didn't he? He didn't even finish it. He dropped out. He's not qualified in anything. And when all the computer viruses were going around, it was believed by a lot of people, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, that the antivirus software companies were either writing a large percentage of the viruses to keep themselves in business, or they were just spreading false information to say there was a virus where there wasn't one, so you kept on buying their software. I mean, is Bill Gates still following the same business model? I don't know. But I do know he's not a doctor. I mean, I mentioned the other day this Leonard Cohen song that I like, Anthem, and the lines from it that I particularly like. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. And there's a huge crack in this Bill Gates World Health Organization fiasco. Simple fact that he's not qualified. He's peddling vaccines and he doesn't know the first thing about them. And his history with computer viruses. If the light doesn't come flooding in through that, then it never will. You've got to be blind not to see it. And then there's the way that governments in many countries, not everywhere, but all the European countries and America, Australia, New Zealand, the draconian laws that they brought in because to keep us safe from this nasty bug, like so many other nasty bugs. And then they figured in the masks thing we know it doesn't do any good. And you try to point out the science, the actual real science that says that masks don't work, and the social media companies take you down. I'll probably take down my new YouTube channel before it's got started for saying that, but fuck it. Fuck the lot of them. The masks are there to do two things. They're to stop you interacting with other people, the same as the social distancing, stop you talking, because it's hard to talk through the masks, or to hear what other people are saying when they're wearing them. And but basically to suppress your immune system, to make you more susceptible to the bugs that are going around. There was an American guy, I can't remember his name, an ex-fireman who was running for some public office. And he had one of these things that the firefighters use to test oxygen levels. And he did some tests live on air where he put the sensor up there by his nose with the mask on. And straight away it started bleeping, bleep, 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 bleep. Low oxygen levels. And Zuckerberg's pet fact checkers got onto it and said it was all baloney, because by putting the sensor there, what he was actually testing wasn't how much oxygen was coming through, but he was testing his own exhaust gases. And yes, that's true, and I agree with that. I've had scientific training. I did an environmental science degree, so I agree with that. As far as it goes. But what then should have happened was to rerun the tests, putting the sensor there. And also putting it there without the mask and comparing the results. But just the test that he did do, where he was testing his own exhaust gases, the point is that with the mask on, he was re-inhaling those same exhaust gases. And those exhaust gases contain all kinds of bugs that your system has got rid of. And you're not letting your system get rid of them by wearing a mask. And then they had the lockdown earlier in the year where we weren't even allowed to go out and get any sunshine and get vitamin D, just 1 hour a day or something. In the early spring, when you need to spend half the day outside to get enough vitamin D. So that again suppressed everyone's immune system, and it's not surprising they got sick, is it really? The lack of exercise but it's not that so much, it's the fear. It's the fear. Fear is the main method of control. You get people scared enough, they'll do anything. Excuse me. I know there's somewhere in America where they're being told they've got to wear their masks indoors. And some of them are so brainwashed and so scared that they're actually doing it. I mean, you can't believe it, they're actually doing it in their own homes. You've got the large proportion of the planet scared of their own shadows, scared of other human beings. For a nasty bug that's about as dangerous as seasonal flu, less dangerous than road accidents, and a heck of a lot less dangerous than heart disease. And they didn't do it for swine flu. And you've got to ask why. And now they're talking